So welcome back to another video. So in this video we are going to discuss about the routing now. So there are certain changes I have made to the topology. So I have changed this data center 1 and data center 2 to the V edge devices. Now this is because the CSR and the 8000V were together using 10 GB of RAM. So replacing with the V edge, now they are only using 2 GB of RAM. So because of my scarcity of the hardware, so limitation of the hardware, so I have to remove those one. But anyhow, we have seen the provisioning of those same both the devices, and what we are doing is everything same on those devices also. It's just the model which is different. That's it. Now coming to the routing. Now with the routing, uh, we can go with the static routing, or we can go with the routing protocol called as OSPF or the BGP. Now these three are supported on the VH devices, but one extra thing that is supported on Cisco devices is that EIGRP, that is on Cisco devices, that is CH, CSR, ISR, ASR, and the 8000 C8000 Catalyst 8000V devices. Alright, so that's the only extra thing, and they are a little bit different features which are supported more on the Cisco devices when compared to the Viptela devices. Now, since the extra features does not cover in the it's out of the scope of this course, so we don't worry about it. But for the routing, as you know that at the back end there is one router over here. We are using the VRFs. All right, and currently there is no routing in there. We just like we are able to ping from one side to the next hop, that's all, but there is no routing on the interfaces. What do you say, on the routers? Now if we go with the static, let's analyze that one. So if we go with the static, so what will happen is that whenever there is some changes, then we have to statically change the default gateway. Now if you see that there are so many VPNs, that means it's not feasible to provision the static until unless we know that that is going to be like a static and there will be no change. So best would be that I will be using the OSPF on the all the sites with the area 0. So what should happen is, like when we provision the OSPF on the data, all the branch edge devices, once we provision that one, we will have a neighborship, and we will also send a default gateway. We also send a default gateway from the edge devices itself, so that we don't have to assign the IP, what do we say, default gateway on that one. Okay, so using the OSPF, we will be using the OSPF template. We will push that configuration. Also, we will push that it should assign a default gateway. So I have not assigned anything on the in either of the what do we say devices, either on the routers on the LAN or on the edge devices. So what I will do is that first I will push the configuration on the edge devices, then I will do the configuration on the router devices. So let's go back to the vManage. So let me log in into the vManage. So let's go to the configuration templates, and let's go to the feature templates, create and add. We will select VH Cloud, and we will scroll down to the OSPF. I will say VH OSPF. Now I'm not changing anything over here. I will go to the area. I will say area number will be 0, and interfaces, there will be one interface. Now if we see my topology, that every different VPN has the different interfaces. So with the OSPF, if I go ahead and select multiple interfaces over here, so what will happen when we define the OSPF template, it will be defined within the VPN only. So how it is going to be defined is like there is a VPN 10, Within that we define gig 0/2. Within that we will define a OSPF. So now in this OSPF, if I say that I want to assign 3 interfaces, so it will only assign to the VPN 10. So you should not be doing like that. So instead what we have to do is that we have to assign the OSPF on each and every VPN. So I will go to VPN 20, gig 0/3 will be the interface. Over there also I will assign the OSPF template. So similarly I will do for the 40 also. So with every VPN, we are going to individually define the OSPF. So what happens is like there is only one interface which we have to define. So each and every VPN will have a blank space. So we will get a one blank space for the OSPF. In that one, we will enter the particular interface. So if it is a VPN one, it will be 2 or 3 or 4 depending upon the VPN. So if I go back here, click on add, and if I go to the advanced, click on originate, make it global, and always should be on, and save. Now let's go and attach it for the branch 1, 3, and 4 first. So click on edit, go to the service VPN, click on edit, and now you see that I'm attaching. So there is only one interface which I need to define within this template. If I say 3 means, then it will ask you what are the 3 interfaces within the VPN tail. We don't want that. So I will do the same thing for the VPN 20 and the VPN 40. Click on save and update. So if I now see the configuration, it should only ask me for the particular interfaces. So this one will be gig 0/2 which is 10, gig 0/3 which is 20, and gig 0/4 which is 40. Same thing for that one. Two, 3, and 4. Click on update, next, configure, confirm it, click on OK. Now the configuration will be pushed. Until then we will go ahead and do the same thing for branch 2 also. Go to service VPN. Now with the branch 2, what I will do is that I will leave the VPN 20 for now. I will only assign with the VPN 40. Click on update. So we should defining only two interfaces, gig 0/2 and 4. And you see that after 3 there is no blank space now. Same for the other device. Okay, so let's go and do the data center also. So if I go to the data center 1, and VPN 20, and also in VPN 30. Same thing here, I will do the same thing, gig 0/2, 3, and 4. Let's go and do the data center 2, which is our last site. Same thing, gig 2, 3, and 4. Alright, so let me check before previous configuration is being done, and it's currently pushing this configuration to data centers. So now the edge devices are now configured with the OSPF. Let's go ahead and configure our routers now. So before that one, let me grab the notepad. So in the notepad, I will write down the OSPF configuration now for the branch one router. So that should be router OSPF 10 for the VPN 10, VRF VPN 10. I will also say that router ID 0.0.10. Otherwise, it will select the highest one and it cannot use it for every VRF. And network, I will say that all the interfaces which are within the VRF. So there is only one, so it will be easy. Otherwise, we have to define the subnets. So this will be the easy ones. I will say VPN 20, VRF instance. I'm running different instance. That's it. So if it is 40, 40, and 40. Okay, so this is the same configuration. I can use it for the data center branch LANs, branches, LANs. So for branch 1, 2, 3, 4, data center 1 and data center 2, I can use the same configuration. So currently I will use it for 1, 2, 3 and 4 because 1, 2, 3 and 4 has VPNs of 10, 20 and 40. I will copy that one, go to the branch 1 LAN and I will say that paste it, go to the branch 2 LAN, paste it, branch 3 LAN, branch 4 LAN, and save it. Let's go to the branch 1, you see that neighborship came up 10, 20 and 40, and branch 2 neighborship came up 10 and 40, but there is no 20 yet in the branch 2. Okay, because we did not assign OSPF to branch VPN 20 in branch 2, that's correct. Coming here 10, 20 and 40, and coming to branch 4, 10, 20 and 40. Now let's go back to the data center 1. In data center 1 also we do have 10, 20 and 30. So that's what we have to change it. So instead of 40, I will just change it to 30. Now also if you see that in data center 1 there is no VPN 20, it is connected to the ASA. So I will just remove that one, paste it at the bottom because we can use it for the data center 1. So this is the only two VRFs created on the data center 1 LAN 10 and 30. So let's go and data center 1 LAN. Let's come back to the topology. Data center 2 will be all three. So come back here. So I will just copy everything again. Go to the data center 2 LAN. Paste it over here and save it. Now going back to data center 1, 10 and 30, I got the neighborship up and running. And 10, 20 and 30 neighborship and running. So at this moment, every router on the every VPN has their OSPF neighborship except these two. All of them should have the OSPF neighborship and they should have the default gateway. So let me go ahead and check the branch one. If I say that do show IP route VRF VPN 10 and you see that I do have a default gateway. IP route for VPN 20, I do have a default gateway for VPN 30. Sorry, not 30, it should be 40. And I have a default gateway. Now let's go to the branch 2 also. So if I say do show IP route VRF VPN 10, I do have a default gateway and you see that I do have two devices connected onto the branch 1. So that's why I'm getting two different hops. Okay, that's all good. Coming to 20, 20 we did not do, so I will go to 40 and 40 also I'm seeing two hops. Coming to the branch 3, do show IP route VRF VPN 10. See that I do have a default gateway in that one. So 20 and 40. Yep. Finally, if I say do show IP route VRF VPN 10, I do have a default gateway 20, and also for 40, all of them has. Similarly, I will verify for do show IP route VRF VPN 10. I do have a default gateway, and VPN 30, I do have a default gateway. Doing the same thing for the branch 2 to show IP route VRF VPN 10, I have a default gateway, and VPN 20, I have a default gateway, and VPN 30, I have a default. So at this moment, what is going to happen is that since this is a mesh topology, that means all of them are able to communicate with each other. We are not filtering anything. There is no filtration in here. There is no policy in there. So what is going to happen is that all the devices are interconnected with each other now. So they are connected on the SD-wan. So since there is no policy in place, what should happen is that if data center 1 VPN 10 wants to communicate with the branch 1 VPN 10, they are able to create. So VPN 10 is able to communicate with VPN 10 on each and every site. Similarly, 20 is able to communicate with 20, 30 is able to communicate with 30, and 40 is able to communicate with 40, but 10 is not able to communicate with 20 or 30 or 40. It's only able to communicate if they are in the same VPN. So in this, according to this what do we say, sequence, what we should say is that if I go to data center 1 LAN 1, that is VPN 10, I will try to ping it. So data center 1 VPN 10 is 10.10.101.10, and I will try to ping it to branch 1, that is 10.10.201.10. So let's go to the data center 1 now, LAN, and if I say that do ping VRF VPN 10, 10.10.201.10, you see that I'm able to ping. So by default, there will be a reachability now when this 10.10.101.10 is coming to the next hop. It's coming to the edge, and edge has all the information about the routes. So my data center will have the, since I am hosting 10, 20, and 30, so my data center will have information related to only 10, 20, and 30. But if you see that I am hosting in the branches 10, 20, and 40, so branches will not have 30, data center will not have 40. So let's verify that one. Let's go to the data center 1 first. So if I say show IP route tab form, so you see that I do have VPN 10 prefixes, I do have VPN 20 prefixes, and also I can see the VPN 30, which is data center 2, but I don't see VPN 40 prefix. Similarly, if I go to the branch 1, if I say show IP routes tab, now here you see that I am able to see the VPN 10, 20, 40, but there is no 30. So the concept is that 10 is able to see the 10, 20 is able to see the 20, 30 is able to see the 30, and 40 is able to see the 40. Now if you want to stimulate the troubleshooting, we can log in into vManage. So we can go to the, I will go to branch 1 and I will try to ping branch 2, 3, and 4. So how to stimulate the views now? Let's go to the monitor, go to network, and I will select branch 1, and at the bottom I will go to troubleshooting, and on the right hand side I will select stimulate flows, and here I will select VPN 10, select the source, destination will be 10.10.202.10, which is my data branch 2 LAN, the router which is at the back of the, so I will say stimulate the views, and you see that there are different views over here. Similarly, if I go to VPN 10 only, but this time I will go to 3, branch 3. Still I am able to reach the branch 3. Now I will also select the branch 4 to make sure I'm able to reach. Yes, I'm able to reach. Similarly, if I go to branch to VPN 20 and if I change it to VPN 20, that is 10.20.204, that is branch 4, stimulate the views, I should see it is going. Similarly, if I go to branch 3, again I should see these views. That's okay, it's going traffic. Similarly for branch 2 and 2, still it is going. Now with the branch 2, it is going four different ways. If you see that we do have two devices over there, so that's why there are four flows propagated. Now we can also check for the branch data center 1, which because data center 1 also has the VPN 20, and you see that I'm also able to reach via the data center. Similarly, data center 2, yes. So by default, there is no policy. So once the edge devices on the back of these devices will have a default gateway, they are able to communicate with each other. So for example, if you don't have OSPF over here still, so now on your LAN side, if you don't have the OSPF, doesn't matter because you define the interfaces, those prefixes will already be advertised on the SD-wan fabric. So that will be already propagated to, that means all the edge devices by default will have knowledge or the information about those prefixes which are on the VPN 10, 20 and 40. If there is no 30, means they are not able to see. If there is no 40, that branch is not able to see the 40. Okay, so I hope this was informative for you and thank you.